Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is story time, but it's kind of just gonna be some random shit. I'm just going to be blurting out whatever comes to my head. First of all, I'm wearing my moo-moo. Anyway, I want to just talk about what it feels like to literally go through life alone, and like be the person that like comes into people's lives and people come into your life for like a reason in a season, and then everybody just goes on their way. Sometimes it's hard, but honestly I'd rather be alone than surrounded by a bunch of fake ass motherfuckers who feed on drama. So yeah, I feel like sometimes it's sad, it's lonely. It's easier now that I'm a mom, sort of, and then also not, because I wish that we had like this great community, and eventually we will be. It's a really hard time to be alive on the planet for all of us, unless you're like a Nazi. And it should be hard for the Nazis. We should be making their life hard. Thank you. That's my request. But I'm so tired. I don't know. I have a prompt from the universe to start speaking, so I'm just trying this exercise of, okay, let me talk about astral traveling. I was gonna make this into a whole series, but I don't feel like making it into a whole series. Maybe. But last night I did an astral travel. If you don't know what astral travel is, it's like a lucid dreaming, but it's a little bit more intense. I don't know. My consciousness is so wide open that I'm able to like be aware even when I'm asleep. And so last night I went to this house party, but it was only like a few of us, and it was at an Airbnb. And the guy who like rented the Airbnb, someone came by, like a journalist or something, and we were eating, like there were like drawers that had like snack bars in them. And I specifically remember being in like the living room, but there was like a little pond or like a pool, and then there were like these snack drawers, and so I was like chilling in the water eating snacks, and then this guy, the guy who rented it, comes by, and he's like, he asked this journalist to be like, oh, can you write a story about this house and tell everyone it's mine? And I was like, you can't do that. Like, this isn't yours, you know? And this is in a whole different realm. I'm fucking fast asleep, but this is what's happening, right? It's not a dream. It's like deeper than that. So I have to teach lessons on the astral realms. And this is one, I mean, it's better than rescue missions, because I've been on some of those, and I've talked about those before, but this was kind of fun. I taught this guy a lesson, and he got it. So I started looking through the rest of the house that we were staying in, right? And I'm like, how is he going to tell everyone it's his? And there was like all this like really, really like expensive like technology. Like they were like what are those called? What are those called? What are those called? Like where the computer projects like an image and it's like larger than life, and like Las Vegas kind of thing, right? What are those called? Anyway, you've probably come up with the word on your end, so it's fine, we can move past it. But there were like a bunch of those, and then I get to like a staircase, and there's like a baby gate on it, and I'm like, there's an upstairs. And so I go find the guy who's like, and so at that point when I'm like exploring everything, there are all of these like tons of people had come by, right? Like it had gotten like completely out of hand. There were like 5 or 6 of us in the beginning, and now it was like there were people everywhere. Like everyone was at this guy's house, and he's like, yeah, this is my house, right? But it wasn't. And then so I tried to go find him, because I'm like, dude, you can't just tell people this is your house, because there's an upstairs, which means someone knows that this isn't your house, and like is very close, right? And so I finally found him, and he like brushed me off. He was like, no, I don't care. I'm telling everyone this is my fucking house. And I'm like, dude, this isn't your house. And so I kind of like took a step back and was just like, you can't do that, you know? And then And then finally, I don't know how it happened. I think the woman who like owned or like lived upstairs or whatever, like figured it out or found out. But it wasn't like a conflict. There wasn't any big conflict. But eventually, dude, you know, figured out that he shouldn't do that. And I don't think the journalist ever came back in that time that was all happening. But yeah, that was my astral travel. It was pretty intense. But I think dude learned the lesson of like, you can't just like take things. Maybe it's a metaphor for Palestine. You can't just take people's things. It is a metaphor for Palestine. It's interesting. You can't just take people's things and call them your own. So yeah, hopefully that was like a Zionist that I was in astral travel with. Maybe he woke up and knew not to do that. But it was very interesting. It was very interesting. It was really cool to have like snack bars in drawers. like themed snacks, just like, hey. Like they were like charcuterie boards, but like in drawers. I liked that. And I really liked it because I was like in water eating them. That was fun. So anyway, okay, the universe is making me share. The other night I had an astral travel and we were just hanging out. That was a lot different though. One night, a few months ago, I had one where it was me hanging out with someone and it was so vivid. And then I like woke up and I was like, oh, he's dead. I was like, what the fuck? So then I'm like, I'm like, am I about to die? Because like we were literally together in that space. Hang on. Let me get this one for you. What's wrong? This is last pancake. Don't touch the pancake maker, buddy. But that was super vivid. Like it was like we were sitting in this living room. Here you go. You going outside now? You need to put a band-aid on your toe. Here. We were sitting in this living room. It was a black futon, which I have in my house, but like we weren't in my house. And then there was a yellow blanket. And then I woke up and I was like, holy shit, like I remember that he had passed away. Like he didn't die too long ago, but it was so interesting. Like such an intense dream. So anyway, if you astral travel or lucid dream or just know you're not alone, you're not crazy. It's a totally, especially as you do your decolonizing and shadow work and clear your consciousness and like return back to like childlike innocence in like all forms, you know, that is what the process of consciousness is. You get access to different realms. And I think a lot of the times people confuse these things with like, especially folks who are like 5D, 3D. That is very 3D thinking. Because like once you have, you know, we're on the 3D, but like every morning when I wake up, it takes me about, I mean, it depends on the dream. If it's like a hard dream, like a terrifying dream, or astral travel, it takes me a little longer to ground in reality. That's why I like having so many animals around me, because they help me snap back into this reality. But I've been on a lot of missions, specifically saving women and children in astral, and I don't think that we're supposed to have all the answers. I think that it's okay to have mystery while you still have ability, you know? Like I don't ever, well, sometimes the dream with the guy that we're like hanging at, that was super, like literally it took me a long time to be like, why, you know, I knew it was a message from him, but I didn't know what the message was, like what I was supposed to do on my end. And then I fucked that up royally. So now I've kind of taken a step back and I'm just like, I gotta sit on it and be like, what am I supposed to do, and get clarification. But anyway, if this sounds crazy to you, that's okay. I have other things that aren't this crazy that I've shared. But some of the missions I've been on, saving women and children, have been pretty intense. I know I've shared a little bit. There's been lately, well, not lately, I think I'm over it, but like last week and the week before, there were a lot of Astral Travels where people were trying to take my son from me. And that's very symbolic of like this reality. So that was some stuff I had to work through. But like now I'm happy to be like helping people with lessons. Like, you can't tell people this is your house. This is not your house. I still haven't figured out what that word is. Anyway. But yeah, I've been on a couple missions saving folks with like one time we were in a house, but it was like this house that was like at the edge of a cliff, but the house itself was like 6 or 7 or 8 stories, like, and so it was like kind of laying like on the edge of a mountain, and then like, you know, the bottom story was like not on the cliff, it was like in the valley or whatever, or the ridge, what's the word, I don't have words. And like my astral travel was like traveling from story to story, and it was really intense. And then I like saw a bunch of people, and those are people that I like actually knew in the real life. Those are people from LA. So that was really interesting. I don't know, I'm not an expert in this. If you're a dream decoder, let me know. I have a couple that I would like to run past you. I think that realm of, you know, I think of that Billie Eilish song a lot of the time. I don't think that where the bad guy, where she says, when we all fall asleep, where do we go? I think about that all the time because I astral travel so much. Like, yeah, I think about that a lot because I feel like evil entities, like especially powers that be and people who are very evil, they prey on people when they're asleep. I really believe that. I put up extra protection when I go to sleep because I know I'm an astral traveler. I know people like sometimes have conversations with nefarious beings and get warnings and stuff. I feel like mine are probably, I don't know, I think I can't put them all in one category, but some of the missions I've been on to save people have been like, I remember specifically one, I've already shared this in something, but I don't remember what video it was. It was me and a bunch of women and their children, and there was like a line of red cars, and then there was like a fence, like one of those chain link fences. So it was the chain link fence, and then it was like this line of red cars, and the red cars were all driven by men, and then there was like, it wasn't a pyramid, but maybe it was kind of a pyramid, I don't know, it was like this big like staircase, and then there was like a little small room, so like the little small room at the end of the staircase, but it was like a pretty large structure, you know, like much bigger than the cars. So what they were doing was they were trying to traffic women and children into the red cars. So the mission was to get us over the fence and into that building. That was really intense because I was like hopping back and forth on the fence and like running people up. I remember that one. That was very intense. But yeah, I would say that if you do astral travel or if you have any of these experiences, just do your best to help whoever is there. And like last night was a little bit more intense because I was consciously like reciting human like things that I knew to be true about like dishonesty and ownership and stuff like that, you know, like I didn't go around talking to all the people at the party telling them what was wrong. I like specifically kept it between me and the person, and they figured it out that they shouldn't do that. But like I was very aware that I was there, which sometimes I'm not. So I feel like maybe since I've been cleansing my body and eating better and just, you know, not doing as much bullshit, I'm able to have that clarity. But that's like lucid dreaming. So like when you're aware of being there. So it's kind of cool. I don't try to have these things happen. This isn't something I'm consciously trying to do. Hang on. It's just a thing that I can do. And again, I believe we're all able to do these things. And it's just a matter of, you know, unlearning and relearning things and, yeah, that's the process of decolonizing. It's the process of shadow work. And like I said, it's that process of returning to childlike innocence. Remember that song, Enigma, Return to Innocence. I listen to that song a lot because that's the process of decolonizing. And it's, yeah, I'm really happy to share this. I wasn't going to share this, so I'm glad that the universe made me. I won't make a whole series on astral traveling because I don't feel like that's necessary. One of the other ones, this wasn't really a rescue mission. It was more of like I was there physically, but like not really physically because I was sleeping, right? This body wasn't there, but like my consciousness was there, aware. But I wasn't like at a bird's eye view. Like that's the thing, I'm like there. You know, like it feels very real. It's not me watching, it's me being. And so one time, this one was a few months ago, I think it was right before, maybe right in the beginning, last fall of like what's happening. But it was specifically very dark-skinned black men who were in this RV trailer, and the rooms of this RV trailer had, I've shared this one on here too, or maybe I shared it with someone else, I don't know. Each room had 3 like doctor beds, and this was not a good place. There were boxes of like body parts, like babies, and this was, I think it was before what started happening, like the genocide. And it was before folks really started talking about Congo and Sudan. But once we did start talking about that, it made me realize that that's probably what that was. Ultimately, men are horrible. No offense if you're a good one. But even if you are a good one, you still have work to do. Guarantee it. Masculine energy within the patriarch, it has legitimately made the entire planet toxic as fuck. And so just know there's people like me who combat that stuff while we're sleeping. And I believe that's real. And I also believe that sometimes it's just messages, but that I feel like the messages are more if they're just seeing it. But the astral travel, so please share your experience if you've had an astral travel. I feel a lot safer talking about these things now that I know I'm not alone. Like if you go to TikTok and just put in hashtag like astral travel, you'll have a bunch of people share their stories, and that's really great because as I've been sharing things for the past 15 years, I've been reprimanded immensely, so I shut the fuck up for a long time. But now it's time to talk, it's time to get it out, it's time to support the consciousness of the planet, because we don't have any more time to contemplate whether or not we should. And also my gifts are not just for me. That's something that I've been having a hard time with, especially lately, is that it's very egotistical and selfish to not share these experiences, because they're not just for me, they're for the entirety of humanity. So it's taken me, probably this morning, I spend my time listening to other spiritual folks. That's what I do in my free time. I seek out other practitioners and readers and spiritualists talking, and I ensure myself to be on that path. But I have been very selfish in keeping things to myself because I've been scared, which is still ego. I don't have anything to fear, honestly. And so I'm not gonna just hold this to myself. I don't think I'm gonna make a whole series on astral travel. If they do come through needing to be shared, I can share them as messages, or maybe we'll see what the rest of my evenings and nights look like. But yeah, think about Billie Eilish song, because I feel like with the law of revelation, bad people have to tell you they're bad. And so that song is literally, I'm the bad guy. when we all fall asleep, where do we go? That's very intense. So, I don't know. Think about it. Yeah. So, hey, Miss Lucy. Lucy is right here. Hi, Lucy. This is one of the reasons I have a lot of animals. Like I said, they help me ground. Cats help protect your spiritual side. Dogs help protect your physical side. And so we have lots of animals, don't we? Yeah. Alright, y'all. I hope you have a good one.